Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have another deck list for you in the standard format for post-rotation. It's a deck that I've been liking a lot. Error caution, this deck is very... it's okay. It's not great. It's not amazing. It has a really bad Malamar and Pikarom matchup, but it deals with a lot of the other guys pretty well. I think Pikarom is pretty 50-50. It just depends on how fast they set up and how slow you set up. The biggest issue with Nidoqueen Meganium is that it doesn't set up by itself all the time. So before we jump in, that's my air of caution. So let's get into the list before we go anywhere and before you guys leave me. We have 4 Meganiums, because, or not Meganiums. Dude, who is this guy? It's Nidoqueen. I'm kidding. Nidoqueen has the Queen's Call ability that lets you search your deck for any Pokemon that isn't an EX or GX and put it in your hand. Really good for searching out the whole deck itself. You have 4 of these guys. You have 4 Nidorans. These guys are also really good because, you know, you need to have them in play to get where you need to be with the Nidorans. You have 3 Meganiums. These guys have the ability to Quick Ripening Herb, which lets you evolve a basic Pokemon that you put into play this turn or last turn. Could be any turn, honestly. Go from a stage 0 to, or stage 1 to a stage 0 to a stage 2 immediately, which is really, really good in my opinion. So you can put down like a Swampert on the same turn you get it. You can get Nidoqueen down. You can just set up another Meganium if you want to and go from there. So it's a lot of options and it gives you a lot of flexibility. There are 3 Chikoritas in the deck because it's a 303 line. All the Chikoritas are 70 HP. I just couldn't find the 70 HP one. There, again, I'm going to go to it. There's a little bit of proxies. I just played with what I could find with today, and that's as true as it'll be. There are 2 Swamperts. I know that's a Frogadier. That's actually a Swampert. Bear with me on this one. This has Power Draw. It's the lifeblood of your deck. You do want to get a Swampert up as soon as possible and search through your deck. There are 2 Mudkippers. This guy is the hardest piece to locate in the entire puzzle. I'll get to why. There's a lot of search cards for all these 2 first lines, but getting to these guys is a little bit tougher. But once you get the Queen's Call and the setup rolling, you should be able to get that Swampert engine up, and you should be able to roll through your deck very quickly. Now, this is a card that I've been testing that I really like. It's a 101 Slacking line. Slacking has the ability Lazy that shuts off your opponent's abilities when it's in the active spot, and he has a pretty good attack for 160 that you can use with triple colorless energy. And so Slacking is my soft answer to things like Malamar or decks that are really explosive and use abilities. So you can just stick a Slacking in the active spot, take some time to actually set up your board, and all of a sudden your Nidoqueen is one-shotting everything under this God's green earth. So that's why Slacking is in the deck right now. In testing against Malamar, it didn't really do what it's supposed to do because Spell Tag is really good, but it did slow them down enough to give me a chance in one of the games, and I think that could be enough. My opponent's rolls are really good in testing. This Noibat is not a Noibat. That is a Oranguru Ultra Prism, so you can, you know, recycle, resource manage to recycle your triple colorless energies because you only have 4 triple colorless and a super boost to work with, but that's literally it. That's all you have to work with, and you really want to have more than just that. 1 second. And then we have the supporter line. Time for the good stuff. This is where the fun bulk of the deck comes in. You have 4 Lily. Lily, I have not been a fan of in the post format rotation, and it's not like the greatest card ever, but I think that it is one of those decks that one of these cards that you need to have in a deck like this, where you need to play a lot of cards turn 1. You need to have a big Lily for, you know, turn 1 to find like your treasures, your nest balls, your Pokemon communications. You just need to get stuff onto the board turn 1 because that's the biggest way this deck loses, by not doing anything on the first turn. Then you have 4 Greens Explorations because yes, Greens is pretty useless in this deck because, you know, everything has an ability. So why do we play it? Well, let me tell you guys, because on the first 2 turns, if you can not hit Lily, say for example, or you're just taking the sweet time to set up, you can chain some Greens Explorations to get like a Candy, to get Nest Ball Treasure, to get Pokecom. You can set up your following turns pretty easily, and all you really need is a Greens turn where you just get Candy plus X, and all of a sudden you are popping off and having an explosive game. There's 1 Tate and Liza, because it is our switch card, it is a shuffle draw supporter, and you need to be able to get out of the active because things sometimes do get stuck in this deck. And you only have 4 triple colorless energies and a boost and a grass to work with. So say your opponent decides they want to be cheeky and bring up that Meganium and leave it there, you can now get out of the active with the Tate and Liza. There's 1 Judge. I don't know if I really like this card. This guy is pretty okay, I think. It's just another shuffle draw supporter, and it hurts your opponent in the late game. It's your version of a stamp. It could honestly just be a stamp. I feel like it could just be fine as being a stamp. There's 1 Brock's Great. You need to be able to put cards back into your deck. A lot of these Pokemon die early. You have to discard stuff with Power Draw, Pokemon Communication, Treasure. You know the drill. You know, stuff gets thrown away. Stuff gets forgotten. for Pokemon Communication. This card is a necessary 4-of because you already play so many Pokemon that you can find one piece, get rid of it, and just throw it back in to get another piece that you need. Really good early turns to find, the one of stuff you're missing. Like, you really want to get 2 Nidoqueens, or 2 Nidorinas, 2 Chikoritas, and maybe like a Mudkip down on the early turns. But if you can't, middle of the game, you can get rid of one of the other pieces you need, Pokemon Communication back in, and just get that piece into play using the ability, Quick Ripening Herb. There's also 4 Mysterious Treasures. These guys are pretty good for getting every piece of the Nidoqueen combo out. Nidoran, the Nidoqueen, you can get the whole kit and caboodle, the whole family of queens, of Nidos. Really good for that, and it's unfortunate downside is you discard a card, but it's pretty good. There's 4 Net Balls. This card is really good because you can get your Chikoritas out pretty early with it, and it's another tool that serves as a purpose to get that 1 grass energy that are in the deck. It doesn't really do much besides that, but getting a Chikorita down early is very important for this deck because Meganium is what drives the deck. If you can get 1 or 2 Meganiums set up, all of a sudden, even if you're 3 or 4 prizes down, you can make a comeback. There are 4 Rare Candy in the deck because you need to have Rare Candy on the very crucial turn 2, turn 3 segment area. There are 4 Pokegear because these guys act as a turn 1 Lily potentially, or a turn mid-game greens, or that Brock's Great, the Judge, the Tate you're looking for. If there's any cuts that need to come out of the deck, the Pokegear is probably the first spot I'm looking at, but it's a pretty good card. There's 1 Palpad to get our Tate and Liza back, our Judge back, or Brock's back, whatever it is, something in there. And we have 1 Shrine of Punishment. I was thinking if I wanted a 2nd Shrine of Punishment, the Palpad could also be a 2nd Shrine of Punishment, because in a lot of matches it's really useful to have that Shrine to tick down that extra 10 damage and get where you need to be. There are 4 Triple Acceleration Energies. That's the main attacker in the deck, main attacking energy. You really need that to do stuff, honestly. 1 Grass Energy to use your Oranguru attack and recycle energy. And it's a Nest Ball searchable card also, and you can technically attack with Meganium if you need to. And we have 1 Super Boost Energy, which is another way to attack with Swampert without discarding energy, or Nidoqueen without discarding energy and just taking your time. So that'll be all for me, guys. That's a fun video for you. It's not really competitive, I don't think, too much. I've kind of put it away in my graveyard for Worlds testing, but I think it's still a good deck, and I wanted to show it to you guys because I have it built, and it's kind of pretty and nice. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, whatever, the drill. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys watching, and adios.